Hi, this is Alvin Garcia and welcome to another episode of Simple Steps in My Kitchen, so welcome. This morning I was waking up and I thought, what am I going to do? It's Sunday and I always do something to prep up for the week. My own personal simple step is always to do something that'll help me out through the week, whether it's meals or whether it's getting things done for the kids. So I always try to focus, how can I make my life easier? I like soup. And I always try to make something really good, whether it's tomato basil, butternut squash, chicken soup. It's so easy to make if you just take the time to do it. So today, one of my favorite soups that I'd like to share with you is tomato basil soup. Now, if you've had it at a restaurant, especially a local French restaurant in the Dallas Metroplex area, you know that it's rich and it's creamy and it has all these great flavors. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make a tomato basil soup at home while watching out the calories. And for those of you that had tomato soup, whether you go to a restaurant, whether you buy it in a jar, it's full of cream. And I know that we love that cream, but it's really not good for us for a lot of different reasons. And I'm pretty sure that you and I can come together with a list of the reasons why. So today I'm going to make you a tomato basil soup that's rich and creamy, and guess what? It doesn't have the cream. And that will help you jumpstart your week. Come and join me. So ready to join me in making a great tomato basil soup without all the heavy cream? Well, here are my ingredients. I have some tomatoes, onion, some crushed red pepper just to give it a little bite, pepper, salt, and the secret, tomato paste, some chicken stock, and of course, good old olive oil. So what we want to do first is I have these beautiful 4 tomatoes. You can add more depending on how tomatoey you like your soup. But for this recipe, I'm going to use 4, and they're nice and plump. I know that right now we are leaving tomato season, so it's hard to find really good tomatoes. And with this recipe, whether you have phenomenal tomatoes, that's my favorite word, I think you've heard that many a times, or whether you have so-so tomatoes, it still works. I've done it with great and not so great tomatoes. So what we're going to do is very quickly, we are going to quarter these tomatoes. And of course, take out the green stems. We don't want that. And the nice thing that I like about this recipe, other than it being healthy, is it's really quick. It usually takes about an hour, and if I'm alone in the house, it takes me less time because I can actually watch it and watch the temperatures and enjoy my tomato soup before everybody joins in. So we're just going to quarter these. No, perfection is not required because we're going to roast these in the oven at 450 degrees, and we're going to set the oven on broil, which I've already done. Get that started. And there you have it, 4 tomatoes quartered, and that's a lot of tomatoes. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to push this up, and I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to get a shallow cookie sheet plate. I put some parchment paper. I'm a fan of parchment paper. Number one, it's easy to clean up. I'm all about making it simple for my life. I want to be healthy, but I got to make it simple. And parchment paper, it just does so well in the oven. You can do a lot of things. My daughter actually takes the parchment paper and uses it as tracing paper when she's doing her artwork. So parchment paper has some versatility in and outside the kitchen. So what we're going to do, we're going to put these tomatoes in here. And the first thing that I'm going to do is drizzle some salt. Now I use sea salt. Some people use table salt. Sea salt tends to be quite strong. So if you don't like things really salty, be mindful of the sea salt that you use. What I like about sea salt is that a little bit goes a long way. So I'm not having to constantly test it and look at it. Then I have some pepper. Now the nice thing about this, I like my pepper like this. Some people use it in a little canister. This way I get to see it. I'm one of those people that when I'm cooking, I like to be interacting with my food. I just don't go like some people do. I like to get my hands dirty. I'm gonna put some crushed red pepper. Now, some people may not like the heat. I like the added heat, especially when that warm soup goes down and it's that sweetness of the tomato. You get that little heat in the back. So I use a little bit. I will use again a little bit when I'm doing the second part of the soup. So if you don't like too much crushed pepper, or if you don't like too much heat, then save it for the pot. That's a little hint there for you. Last but not least, we're gonna drizzle some olive oil. And again, I love this recipe because it's messy, number one. Number two, exactness is not required. Number three, if my kids were here, I can probably tell you, and you've seen my kids before, they'd be in here at least squashing the tomatoes and mixing them up, because my kids are very interactive. They like to get their hands dirty. And there you have it. So let me put this in the oven at 450 for about 30 minutes. We'll check back and see how they look.